Okay, hi. This is Duncan for Riff Media. I'm here today with Ian George from the amazing Amongst Liars. We're just going to have a quick chat about the band and about where they're at. Also, Ian's got a really interesting exclusive for us today. So, without further ado, Ian, hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, good,
Good, good.
thank you. So, for those of you that haven't heard who Amongst Liars are, or don't know where they're from, Ian, do you want to just give us a quick intro to the band?
Yeah, sure. We are from kind of between Eastbourne and Brighton, predominantly Eastbourne. We do kind of alt rock along the kind of alt modern rock, I suppose. So it's kind of the heavier side of things. Talk about modern life and what's going on in the world around us at the moment. So that's what we're kind of about in a nutshell.
Yep. And I think that's the great thing about your lyrics is that they're very relevant and they're modern to the times as well.
Yeah, that's what I
So,
try to be, I guess, is make it sort of. I mean, everyone lives through things and everyone experiences things in a different way, I suppose. And we just just tend to write about things that are going on and affect me and affect the guys in the band, for example. You know, anything from mental health through to the state of the world at the moment with people running it, etc. Climate change, all of the things that are going on around. I think it's just a bit more interesting to talk about that
yeah,
than and keep things sort
yeah,
of relevant that people can either relate to. And we don't tend to be kind of really political, but there are some times we dabble in that kind of that way. If something's going on, we kind of think, wait, hold on a second, people need to sort of talk about this and be aware of the things going on, I suppose.
and there's so much material now, isn't
There's loads of material. It's great. Yeah. We're going to be screwed if the Tories ever lose power.
there? Great. And I think it'd be remiss not to talk about your album, which is you released last year. It's an incredible album. Your debut. It's been critically acclaimed and well received as well. I mean, what was it like recording the album? Did you know when you were recording it just how good that album was going to be?
I mean, thanks. I mean, it was one of those things. I suppose we started writing, and we kind of started literally probably the worst time for any band to start, which was just before the first lockdown in
Yeah,
in 2020. And luckily, before that point, we were kind of threw some song ideas together, and we were kind of working on tracks and where we want to go, and we managed to sort of record just before sort of lockdown hit. We recorded about 6 or 7 tracks, and then over the period of the next year and a half, when it was kind of things were opened up and sort of allowed to go in and record again, we kind of went in and we did some more recording because we'd written sort of remotely. And we didn't even formed this band and didn't really see each other because we were just talking via Zooms and writing via Zooms and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we had a good vibe about the band, I suppose. We'd been in different bands before, and we kind of knew that we wanted to do something. We had a sort of similar vision about the sound and what we wanted to do.
yeah,
And it just kind of came together, and it worked really well. That sort of Leo would throw over some riffs to everyone, and people would work on their parts individually, and then we kind of eventually came together as a band. And we wanted to make something quite melodic and accessible, but also kind of keep the heavy side of things, I suppose. So and yeah, I mean, the album was a kind of match of all the songs over a period of maybe sort of the first year and a half, 2 years. And then when we released it, we had all these songs we've been sitting on for ages. We couldn't actually obviously do anything with, and we couldn't tour because of the lockdown
yeah,
situation. And it was just one of those things that said, right, let's just go for it and let's just do what we can do. And we did it. And yeah, we're really happy with it as a first sort of first outing, and even happier, I suppose, that people kind of reacted to it in such a positive way, which is
yeah,
it's brilliant. So
yeah. It was picked up well on social media, wasn't it?
definitely, yeah. I mean, we had all the kind of majors, people kind of and press and radio, etc., got involved and played it and seemed to enjoy it, and which is great.
Yeah,
So there wasn't really any negative stuff at all,
no,
which is
no.
brilliant. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, good. And towards the back end of last year as well, you had the tour
Yeah,
with Aaron Jones.
yeah, that was great fun. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just from your perspective as an artist, what was it like going on tour?
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it was something because we couldn't do it as well. That's the
Mm,
thing when we first, because we're all about playing live. We want to be a live band. We don't want to, we want to go out and play live. We put on a good live show. We'll go wild and just enjoy ourselves. And I suppose that's what music to me and definitely, that's what it's all about. Really, is just getting out there, connecting with audiences, and having fun, and just taking the songs and just bringing them to life on stage, I suppose. And we did one tour just after, obviously, things had opened up, and that was the sort of probably think about 10-date tour around the UK, which was brilliant, and that was before the album came out. And then we did some small touring around when the album came out, and then we obviously got offered the tour with Aaron, which was amazing. And we went out with him and his band, who was so good. And it was great to be on the road with guys that just loved what they're doing, and you kind of
Yeah.
you feel that kind of energy, and it was just it was great. I couldn't knock it really. We're playing some really great venues to some great crowds and hanging with some really cool people. So it was brilliant.
Brilliant. So on to this year, and I know that you've been in the studio recording new tracks.
Yep.
Whereabouts are you up to now?
So we literally, I mean, we came off tour with Aaron, and then we went into studio. We'd written tracks before. Obviously we've been writing tracks throughout the year as well. We kind of just again bounce ideas, and we spent a lot of time sort of in pre-production. And then
Yep.
so as soon as we came off tour, we literally went into the rehearsal studio, worked on these sort of seven tracks, I think, to start off the next album. And we went into work with Dave in Red City up in Manchester, which is where we do our recording. So we recorded for a week there, and then we recorded for was supposed to be another week, but Dave got quite ill, so we couldn't finish that off in early January. So we did a couple of days, and then towards the end of January we did another week, and then we're going back in another couple of weeks' time to finish off 5 tracks, and then we're going to be going in later on in the year to do some. Well, not. I mean, later on in the year, we'll talk about sort of July time to record some more, finish them off, and then it's going to be either kind of longer EP or an album, whatever we can kind of get down, I suppose. But yeah, we're really excited about that.
Brilliant.
We're kind of going in the direction of sort of, I suppose, the first album touched on the direction we were kind of going in, I suppose, more with that kind of more modern-y kind of edge, with sort of experimenting with some sounds and thinking about kind of some synths and some loops and that kind of stuff to give it that kind of a bit of a modern edge. But it's the same kind of songs, but we're really thinking of sort of honing our sound for the next thing. We just shot a video for what might be the first single. We're not sure yet, but we did that, and we'll be shooting another video, and then kind of get out there, probably start promoting stuff around about the sort of September time, I would have thought, possibly before that.
Amazing.
We might have one single come out before then, but then sort of September onwards really kick in with the album or EP or whatever it is, probably coming out in sort of late Jan. 24.
Brilliant. Okay, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, can't wait.
Yeah. And just with regard to some up-to-date news for everyone, for those of you that haven't seen Amongst Lies yet, over to Ian.
Yeah, so awesome news. We were sort of approached probably about 2 weeks ago, and it's just been confirmed that we're going to be going out on a run of dates in September with Theory of a Dead Man, and we supported them originally back in, for one show we played the O2 Academy in Islington with them, and that was awesome. We played with them and Dead Posey, but yeah, we just literally from the 22nd of September through to the 30th of September, we're going to be playing in amazing venues across the UK. So we're doing London Electric Ballroom on the 22nd, 23rd. We're doing Rock City in Nottingham. Then 24th, we're going to be playing the Garage in Glasgow. Then Manchester Academy on the 26th. Tramshed in Cardiff on the 27th. The KK Steel Mill in Wolverhampton on the 29th, and then finish up in Cambridge at the Junction on the 30th. So yeah, that's going to be insane. So amazing venues,
fantastic,
amazing band, and so we're going to hit the road and see what happens really, and just have a lot of fun. And so we're going to be really working on our sort of stage show between now and then, because we really want to bring a massive show for those venues, because they're insane. So it's like it's a step up from the stuff that we've done before, which is great. So you're playing to 1,000+ people a night. So we can't wait to get out there and play and show the new material and do what we do.
Yep. And it's just so good to see you guys on a real upward curve with this.
Yeah, no,
you know, I was there at your first gig at Nambuka in London. Playing to mainly bands, I think, that were playing that night, and now you're playing these fantastic venues as well.
Yeah, and
I think you're playing a festival as well, aren't you, this year?
We're doing a couple of things, but the main thing, I mean, we want to get the album sorted, or the EP, or what we're going to do first, and get that sorted, because we don't want to. So that's our priority really, and then we'd rather than playing kind of smaller shows. We're doing a hometown show in April in Eastbourne, and then we're doing a couple of festivals over the summer as well. But largely, I think we're going to kind of really build up and work on the sound. and try and get this really good production together, and so we can kind of take it out on the road and really do the sound justice, because we want to be as not close to the record. We want to be, you can we're not going to play into backing tracks or anything like that. We want to make it as live, as good as it sounds.
Yep.
And really sort of bring a show, thinking about lights and thinking about probably recording some footage and videos off the back of it as well, and just making the most of it really. So it's got to take it. We've been playing the smaller venues, and then it got sort of the larger side of the venues, and now it's going to be the sort of the small arenas, and then next year, who knows. Wembley, mate.
Main stage at the stadium.
Yeah, well, let's not jump the guns, really. One step at a time, I guess. Playing to 10 people at Wembley.
No, it's just so good to see a band on the up, and given what's going on in the world at the moment, and how difficult some bands are finding it during these challenging times. Yeah, it's so refreshing to see you guys on the front foot with this.
Yeah, we just work our asses off. I mean, and that's what I think, all bands, you see, every band has a different trajectory, so everyone has their own different journey, I suppose. And it's not like a kind of competition. And it's great to see other bands doing really well as well. And everyone kind of goes off in a different way. And it's great to, see people things. I think generally there's a lot of traction around bands and upcoming bands, and there's a lot of support from the grassroots upwards now, which is brilliant. So, and, there's, people are kind of tapping into this because I think they see that there's, there is this trajectory, and it's, but like I said, we work really hard, and it's really stressful at the same time, because there's, you're putting your life and soul into this thing, and if it's kind of, you have very much up and down, like roller coaster, and 1 minute you get some crap news, and the next minute you kind of get great news. So it's kind of, but it's it's the ride, it's the journey you've got to be on, I suppose. And I wouldn't do anything else, to be honest with you.
No,
it's great fun.
Brilliant. Okay,
he says at the moment, anyway. After the tour, it'd be back to reality. But it's what it is. You see these top bands that they play download, and then the next day they go back to their day jobs. So it's like, that's the reality about the music world, I think, at the moment. But if you love what you do, there's always going to be the highs and lows and the buzz, isn't it? So
yeah. Okay, superb. Well, Ian, thanks for that whistle stop tour of you and your band and 2023. Obviously, huge congrats from everyone at Riff Media, and no doubt all amongst live fans out there. Those that have seen you before, those that haven't seen you before, whatever you do, see the guys on stage. They are amazing. So, Ian, thanks so much.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thanks very much.